Hello, friends. I was muted. I'm so sorry. Welcome to Vibe Tribes Productions. My name is Finn. I'm your dungeon deity for this adventure. We are going to be continuing our story in Between the Prose. This is a 5e actual play adventure for Dungeons and Dragons. And I would like my players to introduce themselves and the characters that we met last time, starting with Eric.
Hey, what's up, Internet? My name's Eric. I'm playing Quill. He has his actual elven name that no one can pronounce, not even the cast. Um, yeah. Uh, Technically, he is a bard, but he is not about the he is not about the innuendos or anything else. He is, in fact, an asshole. Um, and there's a good chance if you're not a wizard, you're dumber than he is. Um, and he'll remind you if you forget. Again, asshole. But yeah, that's Quill. As I horribly attempt a British accent.
Dan, who are you playing?
I'm Dan. I'm playing Murdow, Clan Viento. He's a Goliath barbarian who is trying to find out a way to break the societal construct that is the ordering. And so we just got pulled into a book and ready to have a fun time with that existential concept.
It's not wrong. Max, who do you have?
I am Maximus. I am playing Kunda, the Drow Warlock. He's been observing the group, and it's like he knows that he's going to be in for something. Seeing how seeing how more guy tried to put a book on a pedestal.
He
Hey,
has
you,
plans.
you see a chance, you take it, you know?
It's what science is. And Connor.
Me. Hi, I'm Connor, and I am playing Love, the Tiefling Fey Wanderer Ranger. She's very excited to continue on this magical quest, and what could possibly go wrong this time?
A lot of stuff can possibly go wrong. Where we left off on our last session is that our party all met each other at Candlekeep, where they were all called by a Mr. Jozu Cherry Mouse, who is researching fairy tales and folk tales of Faerun. He asked the party to journey to a area of Faerun not commonly known of, which is known as Farfini. There they met Laura Lee, who is a acolyte and a librarian at Farfini, and she begged the party to find out why there is seismic activity happening on this floating island, and also to hopefully try and retrieve a lost book of the librarian. The party touched this glowing book that was on a pedestal and were transported into the story itself. Um, let's see. They find themselves on a busy street, cobblestoned with buildings made of wood and stone on either side of them. As you guys look around, you can see that there are banners and streamers that are being raised on the lampposts and buildings nearby. There's a certain buzz in the air, excitement and revelry, and somewhere off in the distance, you can hear the deep reverberations of bells. All around you, people mill about with their conversations flowing freely. To the right, you see an inn, smoke lifting peacefully above the buildings from its chimney. Ahead, the road slopes upwards, revealing more decorated buildings, sharp against the peaceful hum of what appears to be everyday life. And behind you, oh no, I'm sorry, I skipped a thing in my description. Decorated buildings, sharp against the No, I can't read. I am so sorry. This is why they kicked me out of theater school. To the right, you see an inn, smoke lifting peacefully from its chimney. Ahead, the road slopes upwards, revealing more decorated buildings, illuminated in the softly setting sun. To the left is a blacksmith, the clanging of metal sharp against the peaceful hum of what appears to be everyday life. Behind you, there is nothing. The sense of blank parchment where a forest should stretch on. You can see the beginnings of the terrain, a dirt road, boulders marking the hilly incline of the town, but beyond that, nothing. Not even a sunset or a sky. What would you guys like to do?
Mordell immediately sees the parchment. And he's like, "What? Does nobody else see that?" Like seeing all these townspeople just walking by. He's gonna pick up a rock and throw it.
The rock flies, and then all of a sudden it just disappears as if it's going through fog.
Did anybody else see that?
Yeah, well, I saw it, but what and why?
I just wanted to test the limits of this new realm of reality that we are existing in. You want me to do it again?
Yes.
Knock yourself out.
The rock. You know what? Roll me a strength check. I'm going to make you roll for stuff.
Somewhere in the real world, a grain of sand lands on the page that we're all in right now.
She's back in the reality, and fucking rock comes out of the book.
Yep. You can hear a phantom voice of Lauralee going, nope, with a 20 on your strength check, you definitely throw the rock. It arcs through the air. You can see it flying through the painted scenery of the setting sun, and then all of a sudden, as it reaches towards that edge of the line of where everything is, it just vanishes.
All right. I'm done testing. We all good here?
Yeah, Love's gonna jot that down in her notebook. Be like, there, I wrote it down, so now it's for science and not messing around. And put her notebook back in her cloak.
That's fair. All right, I guess we ask anybody if they've seen a book.
Well, I kind of think
people.
We're in the book, so I don't.
No, yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna. Do we think that they know what, like, their situation
is?
Yeah, that seems kind of like a heavy thing to drop on someone.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna be the person that pulls that string.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. You know, just a heavy weight. And I feel like maybe we should try that with caution. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, observe the surroundings. First, you have an interesting bit here. Half that building exists, and then the back half doesn't. In the story, the bits that get written about become real, and then everything else is a bit of fog. But if you stare over there and imagine what you're supposed to see, it might solidify. So let's try that as an experiment. So, DM, we will attempt to stare at a part of the environment that is not coalesced yet, imagining what it's supposed to be.
Roll me an imagination check. So a wisdom check.
Oh, that's a saving throw, which is the same number.
Murdow's thinking about a bunch of rocks.
As he should, as is his right.
Just thinking maybe some
Um,
other people were testing out the limits and just throwing rocks. Just having a big pile of rocks there.
Quill, you focus on one piece of the scenery that you can see. And as much as you can see in your mind this object. What are you thinking about?
Just any part of it that the scenery gets foggy. Because not every single detail of every single thing is written about. So, is there an extra box or a barrel or some tipped over piece of thing, leftover wood, scrap metal, just somewhere? And anywhere where there's just a fog area, I want to just sit here and see if I can manifest it.
You can see that the trees that are starting to line the road, there are a few on each side that are starting to get cut off as the fog of parchment starts to overtake it. And you sit there, or stand there rather, for a good few moments, and you're trying to conjure this image, trying to conjure it into the reality that is the moment that you are existing in. And you start to think a little too hard, and you might even start to get a little bit of a headache. But try as you might, there is nothing that manifests in this fog of parchment.
I would have liked a pile of rocks too, bud. All right, well, let's go find that king. I guess we got to play matchmaker for that book to just show up.
Yeah, stranger things have happened, I guess. What? The blacksmith is close to us. Was that the most remarkable stop in the area?
The blacksmith in this immediate entrance to Main Street, basically, is to the immediate left. It's going to be closer, but then there is also an inn, which as an adventurer you would know is probably a very
A hot
safe
spot.
place to get information. A hotspot, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Love's gonna pull out her staff and yeah, might as well. She's going to kind of tap it left and right and left and right and do a rhyming count to herself, so not out loud. And it's going to point towards the inn. And she goes, I think we should go that way. What are thoughts? I mean, I don't want to take charge, but that's
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Let's go, I guess. And Love will start tentatively walking. What's the ground like? Is it muddy or is it cobblestone?
It's cobblestoney, but it's not quite slums, but it is definitely entrance to a city, well worn,
A rustic
dry.
village.
What?
Like a rustic village.
Yeah, like one of those things.
And can we see people?
You can. There are people milling about. There are many of them are setting up streamers and banners across all of the houses. There are a few children who are running around playing. You notice that these people are predominantly human, but there are a few half elves, and you even see like a half orc that's wandering in the streets. Ooh,
Loud.
Eric, loud.
You said half orc and you just lost it.
Yeah, Eric's like, no half orcs in my fantasy. Just kidding.
No, I was covering my camera so I could apply more aura gel for this toothache.
Yes. Wait, I've muted Eric for the time being. Everybody in chat, send Eric well wishes for his toothache. Ooh woo.
Ooh.
Ooh
When
woo.
the ooh came out, I guess we have to do it.
Ooh woo.
Ah.
Ugh.
So there's people, and they're milling about and doing
Yeah.
their stuff, and there's a decent range of types of people around, but they look like normal people. They're not like paper
Yeah.
people. Okay.
They are not paper people, just as the scenery around you in this town are actual things. They look
Right.
as real as Candlekeep looked to you, as Farfany looked to you.
Got it.
And you yourselves are flesh and blood to each
Mhm.
other.
Okay. Do we look
Whether
different?
or not you can feel pain is a separate matter, though.
Just to test it out, Mordau pulls out his giant great axe razor, and he's gonna tap. I was already thinking about this, but he's gonna tap his finger against the blade, see if he can.
You feel pain.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna test out if any of these people feel pain because it's a little barbaric, but.
You could. What's the worst that could happen? Just
What
kidding.
are we doing in this inn? We looking for info?
Yeah, I guess the adventuring rules. Whoever wrote the book on it, I guess they had it right. We should just talk to the locals and see if any of them can point us in the right direction. Yeah. I guess.
Guess we should ask how their queen is doing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And Love's going to go up to the door, but not go in first. She's just going to kind of wait next to it and eyeball the other three.
Knowing Love is very indecisive about remembering her not wanting to talk to the help desk, is immediately going to open the door and just hold it open for everybody else.
Oh, thank you. I guess duck on inside.
Monday night, what time of day is it?
It is sunset, so it's probably about like 5 or 6 o'clock at night.
And you see Kunda just take his goggles off. I'm like, good, I can see now.
Perfect.
Do I notice any animals around?
Roll an investigation check.
Yeah. 11?
With an 11, you can hear distantly at least one dog barking somewhere in the town.
Okay. And he's gonna say to the rest of the group, I'll book us a couple of rooms for the night.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I'll repay you back in kind. Later, Quentar.
So no need.
Okay.
So sweet. Okay. As you guys enter the tavern, you see that it is much more populated than the map shows in front of you. There is a barkeep standing behind the bar. It is a half-orc woman who is currently cleaning glasses. There are at the tables to your right, there is a group of humans that look like they are day workers. Their clothes are dirty, stained with sweat and dirt, you hope, sitting around one table drinking and talking amongst themselves. At the bar, you can see a half elven young man who is sitting there with his head down across his crossed arms on the bar, a half empty drink in front of him. And Quendar, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is only 13.
No, not you, Quill. I'm sorry.
12. 12.
A 12? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Actually, in that case then, Quendar and Quill, you guys both notice in the shadowy corner just to the immediate right of the door, far against the room, you can see a cloaked figure with a small whiskey glass in front of them on the table before them, legs kind of propped up on the table.
I'm gonna go to the bar first, but knowing that I also have a 12 passive, so would I have seen them as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Connor, what do you got?
18.
Oh,
You can tell that this person has dark gray skin peeking out underneath their robe. And by robe, I mean hood.
Quill, you getting a drink too? Since you emptied out those last drinks in the bucket earlier.
As Quill sits here, closes his book. Sorry, what?
I'm getting some drinks while we're in this inn. I don't know the next time we're gonna get more drinks, since we're not going to Candlekeep for a minute until we solve this thing.
Well, they said that Falfany was supposed to be dry, but then they also said there was only one person there to enforce it. And
We're not in Farfany.
right now, we're inside of something else. But as I open my coat, there is like 6 flasks, like on each side.
Do they each
Well-
contain a different alcohol?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, from one professional drinker to another, you never want to go into your supply until you need it. And who knows if money's really a concept here. Maybe we'll get out of here with money of our own. I don't know. I don't know the whole concept of what we bring out of here aside from that book. So I'll just go over to the bar and I'll order a drink.
Yeah. Let's get around for the table.
I'll take a mead, please.
Mead's good.
And I'm gonna tap Quendar like on the calf with my staff, and kind of casually point to the dude in that corner, and I guess look at Quendar and say in Abyssal, do you happen to speak Abyssal?
Nope.
And then
I
level
do
go.
not.
Okay. and then try an infernal and say, "How about infernal?
Nope.
Sylvan, maybe?
Nope.
What about Elven?
Yes.
Okay." And then in Elven, we'll go, "Hey, I think we should go talk to that guy because he might be a drow like you, I think."
Fine, but just be careful, don't go too close.
Okay. Is
And yeah,
that,
I say I've already spotted him already.
uh,
So
Love's gonna get incredibly nervous. Go like, why shouldn't we get close? Is that do you think they're dangerous?
do you see how I'm dressed and see how they're dressed? Similar sort of get up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Do you want to take the lead, or do you want me to maybe take the lead?
No.
I'll
We'll
order.
wait for him to come to us. So
Oh.
then,
I like that. That's a good plan. Okay.
I'll order a whiskey on top of everything else I'm bringing. The same thing that guy had ordered before, and I'll come by and be like, "All right, shall we join our friend over there? Seems a little lonely."
The bartender takes a glass off of the shelf, uncorks a bottle of amber liquid with their mouth, and then pours you a drink and then slides it across the bar to you.
Okay, perfect. Hey, do I have all my other drinks as well? The mead, and then I'm gonna order the strongest drink for myself.
The half orc raises her eyebrow at you and says, "You sure you can handle that little filler?"
Oh, I'm 8 feet tall. I'm about. I don't know if I'm the same height as this half orc, but I'm like, oh, I can handle it. Don't you worry.
All right, suit yourself then. And then proceeds to mix you the fantasy equivalent of a double Long Island iced tea.
Mm.
And slides it across the bar to you, eyebrows still raised, and finishes preparing your other drinks and slides those across the bar to you as well.
Appreciate it. And then goes over to the group. All right, who's gonna open for this? Okay, not Love. All right. Okay. I'll walk over and say, seems like you drinking alone there, friendo. Mind some company? And like puts the whiskey glass down.
The individual whose arms are crossed at their chest tilts their head slightly to observe the drink on the table that you just placed down, and then lifts their head a little bit more fully to look at you, and then shakes their head, and then turns to look at Quendar, and raises their head fully so that you can see their face underneath their hood, seeing that they are, in fact, a drow. It appears to be a drow male, and he raises his eyebrow towards Quendar and says, "Brother?"
Do I know them? No.
Roll either an insight or a history check.
Might just be a term of endearment.
17.
With a 17, you know that you do not know this person, but he was calling you brother as a sense of, we are all family, under Lulf. And you're perhaps the only drow that he has seen for a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna walk. He's gonna walk up. He's gonna walk up to next mother, and I forgive Dan. Like this, I'm just playing the character, and he just slaps him across the face and do not speak to without my permission.
Mordau
Roll.
speaks in undercommon and says, "Is this how drows do things up here? Is this a kink thing?"
Roll me a melee attack, please.
Okay. So I'm gonna do an unarmed strike.
Yes, please. That's the one I was looking
Okay.
for. Thank you.
Yeah. 14.
14 will do that, and you strike him across the cheek, and his hand lifts up slowly to cup his cheek. Now roll me a perception check at advantage, please.
Okay. Sorry, I got a click.
No, you're good. I am distracted mildly as well.
That's that is a 4.
Okay. Yep, you don't notice anything else. And you see the drow kind of tilt his head ashamedly and then leans back again.
Do tell me what are you doing in this inn currently? And he takes up his bandana and releases his hood and lets his hair float down. Mind you, his hair is all the way down to the floor. And
Hell yeah.
but braided. Mind telling me what you're doing here?
The drow nods, allowing you to do that. And the drow says, just passing through. Figured I'd get a drink, but didn't expect the party of the century to be going on at the castle. Seems like I'm stuck for a little bit.
You should be fine as long as you don't get into trouble.
Well, seems I'm prone to trouble, as I just received a slap from you for trying to make a friend.
No, I slapped Modell, not the drow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you slapped the drow.
No,
My bee.
he was trying to do
Like,
a.
I'm treating Modell like my slave.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I said in undercommon, is this some sort of kink thing between drows? Because Mordau knows undercommon. But that 14 would not have hit Mordau.
It was more of an intimidation tactic. Like I'm treating you like a slave, like a bodyguard.
Okay. Then he would have intentionally failed. Understanding that this may be a kink thing. Letting you slap me.
In that case, the drow is looking pleased at that display and nods his approval.
So this is my dumb bodyguard. Doesn't know when to shut up.
Nice to see that we can find good help up here as we can below.
Now, I do want to ponder you. Have you seen any recent individuals not from here as much like us? And I point towards Quill and Love as well.
The drow looks between each of you and then looks at the other patrons of the bar and says, "There's a celebration going on at the castle. There's quite a few different looking people that are making their way up there. So I would say yes to your question."
Okay then. If you spot anything unusual, come and grab me, or one of them.
There has been something interesting I've noticed. There's well, to speak plainly, there's some weird shit going on in the castle. Now, I'm sure since you're here, you might know the rumors about what happened up there a few months back.
Nope.
Oh, you haven't? Well, then what's bringing you to this town?
More or less an assignment.
An assignment. Well, in that case, maybe we can help each other out. See, I'm here on an assignment as well. I was tasked to gather information about the king of this area. He seems to have lost his queen a few months back, and since then my sources have said that he's well, delved into a fit of madness. They want me to find out just how mad he's gotten and if he needs to be deposed. Trouble is, I can't get anywhere near the castle, and I've been trying to think of a way to get back in. We don't really look like the rest of the people that are passing through town, so I think that might have had something to do with it. Regardless, I don't have much backup up here, so if you're willing to help me out, I'm willing to compensate you handsomely for that.
Sure. And yeah, probably just to say to help, and he does it in front of the group just to like show, hey, I somehow I can help. I'm gonna use my origin invocation, disguise self, and you see
Okay.
his face. And you see his face become from like an ashy gray to like a human complexion, and it disguises himself as an old man.
And the drow nods and says, "Now that just might work. Wish I had that kind of fanciness, but regardless, you're
Trust me,
able
I got this from other sources.
other sources. Interesting. Well, if you're willing to share those sources with me, perhaps we can help each other out after this assignment as well."
Yep.
At this, the drow picks up the drink that Mordau placed down on the table for him and takes a sniff and
Trust
says,
me, he's not that smart to do that.
"Good to know. I'll I'll take your word for it. As a show of, what's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderie? And he takes a swig. The queen died under mysterious circumstances a few months back. And like I said, the king here has been delving into some interesting behaviors. And now, all of a sudden, without announcing to the court or to other real monarchs of the area, that he's marrying again. It's a mysterious bride, mysterious circumstances. My employers are interested in knowing who, what, where, when, and why. The wedding seems to be happening in 3 days. He's throwing a ball each night in honor of his new bride.
He's gonna point towards Quill, and just tell him like go sit in the corner, and I'll inform him, just like discreetly though.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Joke aside, were you asking for me to go to a corner?
Just sit at the table and just wait.
Oh yeah, I've got
Any-
plenty of booze, so.
And he says to the group, and to the guard, do you mind if I talk to these three in private?
The drow waves his hand and says, by all means.
And so I've got to remind myself. Barkeep.
Barkeep looks up while drying a glass with a rag.
Can I please have and he counts 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I have 4 rooms for the night?
4 rooms. We're pretty booked up solid. Let me check the ledger. And she reaches down below the bar, pulls out a book, and flips a few pages, and then says, "Best I could do is 2 right now."
Don't we want to
That's
hit
fine.
up the party at the castle first before we stay for the night? I mean, we just got
mate.
here.
This is a security. This is for security in case we need to skedaddle.
Having a good
so
fallback
to
point.
speak.
It's in the book.
Sure.
I approve.
Yep.
And I asked like, how much?
No charge for the celebration. The king has paid all the inns and bars around town to help accommodate for his guests. So, on the house.
Thank you.
And go.
Love is going to go and sit with Quill and sip her mead and kind of scan the room and wait for our team meeting over at the table.
I brought the rest of our drinks, so I'm sitting there with Love, drinking my double Long Island out of a giant mug.
It's like a bucket. It's like a mop bucket.
It's one of those like giant, like overly large beer steins that they'll give tourists that are way overpriced. Yeah, basically that, but like double.
I should have ordered 2 of these.
Or as an alcoholic would say, a small.
Yeah, couldn't you see him just grab underneath his cloak and he produces like a small little vial, the cap on it, and it says, "Do not touch this stuff unless you want to be knocked out."
All right, we have our team meeting.
Yep.
Okay. So we get into this party. See, this king's going crazy. Probably something wrong with his bride, making him crazy. I've read plenty of books in my giant floating wizard library to know that a good thing is not necessarily a good thing. Also, Gwendor, just letting you know, I put that on your tab. The slap. You'll get that. Just letting you know. But you got some good info from him, right?
Yeah, there's more to it, and he got looks towards Collins up. There's more to it than that more to it than we already know.
Well, love.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think since when we were back at the library, we were dealing with ghosts, and if the queen, the first queen, if she's dead, and now like something weird's happening, maybe we shouldn't cancel out, like vengeful spirit kind of thing. Seems thematic, but I don't know. This is a story after all. So
True.
who's to say, right?
And if anything, Quindar can just use that disguise self to look as beautiful as the previous queen. We could probably solve this out.
It's all coming together.
That does mean that you have to find a portrait of the queen that is accurate enough for that.
True. Does anybody got some mind spells? We could dig into that guy, the king's brain.
Oh no. I mean like a little bit, but no, not anything impressive. Just a little trick that I know, just a little bit.
If you go down into the cellar, there's a literal mind flayer just waiting to help out. Just kidding. That's a joke.
Well, not yet. I mean, you could ask the dog for help, but they're colorblind. I learned that the hard way when I tried to disguise myself as the Duchess of Arendelle.
How did that turn out?
All in all, a little gray in the areas.
Ha! Ha! Take an inspiration for that pun. Reluctantly. No, that was a very good pun. So what would you guys like to do? The barkeep comes around the bar and hands or places 2 keys on the table for your rooms, and then goes back to her post. What would you guys like to do? There is a second floor, or there is a town for you to investigate.
I mean, we don't have any luggage, right? Should we just pocket the keys and I guess head out there?
Well,
Yeah.
before we go running off,
So,
shouldn't we kind of have an idea of what we're looking for?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I
What do
was
you
So
mean?
excited.
we came here looking for that
For a
book
book,
that was missing off the pedestal.
right? But there's
Great.
also in a world of that there we literally saw an invisible wall that we threw stones into and it disappeared. Who's to say we don't solve this thing and then a book appears out of nowhere?
Right. But much like the story of a young wizard at his wizarding academy about to fight a dragon, you know, yield Accio and see if I could summon a book. This was that was the fourth installment of that series.
I guess
If I
Zephy
know
didn't have that.
if I know the color of the book, the dimensions of it, and some details about it, I might be able to visualize it and call it.
But all these people are made in this existence. They wouldn't know anything about a book from outside of it.
But I don't need what they know. Did any of
you
you
just need the
speak to
description.
Lorelei? You know, the person who had seen the book previously, who some of you with a bit of your antics were distracting me at the time, or I was drinking. Definitely one of the two situations.
Or both.
Well, I mean, I talked to Lorelai, but I didn't ask about like specifics. I was just kind of excited to go in a book and go on an adventure. That's just
So instantly we flushed ourselves down the orange tube without knowing what color we're looking for. So
Yeah.
now we're just hoping to figure out something about a queen that you read that now uh, we got a king who's going crazy, one dead wife, one new wife. Uh, Either she drove him nuts or is driving him nuts. And
Like putting a hand on Quill's shoulder. I'm a guy who solves immediate problems, and the other problems kind of cascade off of that. I figure we figure out this problem. Next thing we know, we're gonna be in Candlekeep drinking. No earthquakes. Bing bang boom. We're drinking.
Quill, roll me a history check.
I do love it when I get a 3 on die, so I'm going to go ahead and spend that inspiration.
As is your right.
That's better.
With a 22, I think you just about remember that of the pedestals that were lining the statue of the librarian inside of Farfany, each of the books did have a different distinct color to them. Some were glowing, and some were glowing more brightly than others. With this book that you are currently invested in, was glowing the brightest out of the group at the time of your arrival. You could also recall from the covers of the books that there is no indication as to what stories lay inside. There is no monogram on the leather covers, nor are there any words depicting what stories they are. But you know that the dimensions of the pedestals are about 9 by 12 inches, and the books that you viewed around the librarian statue on those pedestals are a little bit smaller. They're about 7 by 10 inches. Some of them are thicker tomes, and some of them were thinner tomes. And since you rolled so good, I will tell you of the different colors that you saw. You saw the orange book that you are in. You saw an ocean blue cover, a pink cover, a light blue cover, a mustard yellow cover, a black cover, a purple cover, and a cream cover. And they were all leather bound.
Orange, ocean blue, pink, black, light blue, cream, and what was the other one?
Mustard yellow and purple.
Mustard yellow.
And I will type those up so that you can get those descriptions as well in our chats.
And while everyone is like discussing and stuff, the group basically Kunal just writing in a book, and just puts it in his pocket.
Uh, so, from looking at everything, what we have is it's inconclusive. I was hoping, maybe the books were ranging the covers ranging from red, orange, yellow, and perhaps finish the rainbow, black, white, brown. Give us something to really work with. Um, we were not so fortunate on that. Trying to narrow down what we could get out of this. But at least we should know what it looks like if we run into it.
With your 22, real quick, with your 22, you would also recall feeling a slight pull, like you could sense the magic from the books. So, in theory, you would be able to recognize a similarly magic book elsewhere.
Well then, if I can get within 1,000 feet, I could extend my senses. I would still have to get within 1,000 feet of the book. So maybe up at the castle somewhere, there's something we could do. Try and figure out, what's going on with the king, the queen, and the stand book. So
knowing its location, it's probably going to be some guarded very well.
Well, it's a party.
Right. Also, the ability that I have to extend my senses would only last for 10 minutes. So we'll have to be there already in position before I attempt it.
Do any of you have any experience like hunting for artifacts and like important items and stuff?
Not especially. I mean, I have things that help.
Because that was my whole job when I was like in school, was to go out and find stuff and then bring it back. One thing that I noticed in all of my time doing that is that whether or not people recognize the importance of an item, important items, especially more magical ones, always seem to find themselves in the middle of somewhere important. And it's kind of rare for just something to be like a literal diamond in the rough, just sitting there on the ground. It's going to have some kind of place of power around it. And that aura kind of draws in, it's like a gravitational pull. And I think we can kind of count on that a little bit here because this thing seems important enough, at least to this world, which is a story. She whispers. I think we can. I think we can kind of. I don't know. Play on our. Yeah, I saw that. Play on our environment and maybe let the limitations of this world do some of the lifting for us in that way, if that makes sense.
Sounds bad.
The drow from the other table says, "We're all stories in the end."
I was
he
not
goes,
talking to you, sir. This
I
is a private
heard
team
you.
chat.
I
Right.
heard you.
Love
Yeah.
scoots her chair so her back is to that guy. No eavesdropping.
It's hard when you're talking so loud. And then he goes back to minding his own damn business.
Oh my god, was I
As
talking
you
too loud?
should. No, you're fine. You're talking exactly how you should be.
Thank you. Okay. I think we should head out.
I agree.
One more drink, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that was a
One
good
to the
shake.
road.
That was a good opener drink. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I'll have 2 more of those, ma'am. Coming over to the half
Bartender
orc
goes, "You want those for here to go?"
to go. We got a party we have to go to.
She produces 2 large juice boxes filled with double Long Island iced teas.
As I drink my sake in a juice box,
I'm very jealous of it.
it's good. And I also have 2 of them because it's a good chaser.
Oh, using sake as a chaser for sake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I drink 2 very stout heavy Long Island teas,
Heavy-handedly poured Long
Yes.
Island iced teas.
which is like exactly what I used to drink in college. Just back to back.
There was one time I had 2 Long Island iced teas back to back, and it was a mistake. Anyway,
It's fine. It was another Wednesday.
it was actually a Wednesday.
Mhm.
Oh well.
Oh well. All right, let's go to this party.
I'll share stories of my debauchery another time.
Hey. That's why y'all should watch Gaia Chronicles every other Monday on this same channel.
Where there's no such thing as statute of limitations.
Brr, 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 brr.
No, there is.
Sorry, it's the other way around. The opposite of what I said. It's the good one. Anyway.
Anyway,
Let's go outside.
Anyway. Fresh air. You're back in the town. There are still people milling about, but there are significantly more decorations that have sprung up on the buildings. In fact, as you notice, they all seem to be wedding banners in white and gold colorations.
Can I ask 2 environmental questions that I should have asked earlier?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
So we know what time of day it is because it's getting on like evening after sundown and stuff. What does the sky look like?
The portion of the sky that you can see is being painted as a sunset, so it is orange, red, deep purple, watercolors being blended across the sky, where the fucking brighter colors would be presumably where the sun would be setting over a landscape. However, you cannot see because it just disappears into the parchment of fog.
Has time visibly passed in the sky since we've been here inside and now out? Or is it still the same?
Roll either insight or investigation.
That sky is not real.
How about a 14?
With a 14, you notice that time has passed.
Okay.
You can see that there's a darker patch of the sky, and you can even see some stars blinking into existence on its darker portions.
Cool. And my second question, what season is it?
Fall.
Okay. Cool.
It is autumn.
Okay. So, Love has had her cloak, her green cloak hood on this whole time, and she's gonna like take it off now that like party time, right? Let her hair down. And her hair is like tinged with like an orange ombre now, and her skin around like her hairline and where her horns are, which are back inside of her hairline. It's like instead of being the normal like red, it's got more of like a crisp orange hue that kind of like crinkles a little bit, almost like leaves in like a pattern kind of thing. Just a little Fey Wanderer class feature to throw at y'all.
I was gonna ask if she's part Eladrin.
She is not, but she is a Fey Wanderer, and my Fey Wanderer gift says that my skin and hair color change to match the season at each dawn.
Okay. Then do with this information as you will. It is late fall, late autumn, teetering into the beginnings of winter.
Got it. Yeah. I think that's why it's only an ombre and not a full hairstyle, because her darkness is still in there for the decay of winter, which is coming. Cool. Awesome. I'm good to go.
Schwag. What would y'all like to do?
Before we head out of the tavern, I'm gonna ask my new girlfriend, how hard is it to get into the castle, relatively on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, for me, practically impossible. For you all, I have a feeling you'll do much better than me. It's guarded. Front door seems to be the easiest way on account of it being a celebration. As long as the party's going, you should have no problem walking in as long as you blend in with the aristocratic crowd. But climbing walls, trying to sneak in any other kind of way, probably be met with stay in the dungeon.
Noted.
Why don't I just say that, His Majesty lost his keys and called for me to find them?
Are you
Well,
asking the drow that?
Just the party.
Oh.
The drow may overhear this.
I mean, you could always just default to we're the help. Parties hire outside groups all the time to do things. Could be rat catchers. We could be several other things. Just gotta look the part, I guess. I could just go in there and I could say I'm one of their the king's personal trainer.
The king's been crazy for some protein.
He's been working out for the wedding, trying to look good, to make himself look good for his bride.
I think this is all good ideas, but I would kind of caution a little bit of what's going to happen when we get in front of the king. Is this kind of stuff that we can back up? Because I think having a reason to go is important, but having a reason to stay is also important.
I mean, they're not going to escort us up to the king and say, "Hey, here's your personal trainer."
That's a good point.
They're
Yeah.
just going to let us in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The king's going to be busy. We'll probably, I mean, unless we want to run into him, we're probably never going to run into him. It's going to be a big party.
The sheer confidence coming off of this party is like influencing Love and definitely getting into her woo girl phase of, yeah, we can absolutely do it. Let's take over this town. This sounds like a great plan.
Man, these Long Islands are great. Already just raising Mordau's 8-foot confidence even higher. And his, I don't care if I die.
Where are you
Alright.
guys standing right now?
I think we're right out in the street.
How close
Right.
to the door are you?
Right now, we've been making our way slowly but steadily up to the castle.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've been walking. We're not nowhere near eavesdropper.
We're walk and talk. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you guys walk through the town, you can see that the buildings get more and more extravagant, as if the shops and houses are becoming more high end. You can notice more metalwork being involved into their construction. More gallant color streams are being put on the paint of these buildings. As you continue on, you find more and more shops that seem more like luxuries. You're finding more jewelry shops, more clothiers, more haberdasheries, shoe stores, that kind of stuff. Whereas on the lower part of the city, it was a blacksmith, tinkerers, means to an ends cutlery kind of stuff. As you walk forward, you also notice that there are a lot more higher end inns that are being showcased. Some of them are even located right next to each other. And you notice that the smell of the city has improved. It smells a lot more flowery and clean. As you continue upwards, you can find the final slope going into the castle, and it has been decorated in giant, marvelous bouquets of flowers. It is lined with petals, and you can even see some like makeshift pop-up stalls that are lining this final walkway up into the castle. And you can see that there are items like dresses and suits and costume jewelry and even masquerade masks, as the king has invited everyone who attends this 3-day celebration to dress up at his expense. And so
Perfect.
if y'all would like to dress up, we can have a dress up montage. Or if we want to do Ocean's 11, we can do Ocean's 11. The
Why
world's
not?
your oyster.
Mordau dressed up in a suit and then just tears his sleeves off.
Hell
Fantastic.
yeah.
Done.
Quill just puts on clean, exact versions of what he was already wearing.
Excellent.
Wow, you look really good in those, Quill.
Now, the only significant difference is, are you familiar with the Eldritch knot for a tie?
I'm not. Please explain.
It is complicated, and the best I can tell you is Google. It is rather intricate, but that is the way he does his tie. Other than that, it is not entirely cinched up. He wears his nice Well, to him it's nice. To everybody else, he's just another jerk in a raincoat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a bow tie. Just ties a bow tie.
Oh, there's a how-to guide on the Google Images for how
Oh,
to do an
yeah.
eldritch knot. I'm saving that search for later.
For
Anyway.
all tie knots.
Awesome. Does anybody else dress up?
Kunal basically just like you see him like just take off his cloak, and basically underneath it it's his. Uh, yeah, I'd say it's his formal drow attire. Like very nice gold rib gold ribbons. It's got his noble house
Perfect.
displayed on the back, and it's very butler-esque.
Okay. Okay. I get I sees you. I sees you. Love,
But
what are you
yeah,
doing?
he's still disguised as a human, though,
Okay.
not a drow.
Love is in a. She comes out of like the changing room last, right? And so she's been wearing like traditional like explorer clothes, right? So like there's some like leather components for like armor, and she has her cloak, and like boots and stuff and pants, and that's what she wears. But she comes out and she's in like a dress tunic, so she still has boots and pants, and like the belted tunic, but it's cut slightly different, and it's like made out of like boots with the fur. Indeed, that's a behind the scenes chat right there. It's made of like it's like crisscross woven, and it's like a deep forest green with a black belt and black pants, and green leather boots. And she has her cloak, but she's turned it inside out, and so it's like the nicer material that's on the inside, and it's kind of slung over one shoulder, kind of like Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2 era, like shoulder cape style.
Ezio
Um,
Auditore de Frenzy.
yeah, that guy
Yeah, that
right
guy.
there. Yeah. So she's in kind of like not quite swashbuckler, but definitely closer to like formal adventure wear. And she still has some leather and has her horns out. She's not hooded. I don't know if we've seen tieflings at all in the town. But
If you want, you can roll
I
investigation
I
check.
do. Let's please do.
You can
well.
do that with advantage because I have a +7 to that.
Oh, well, I rolled a 9 or a 7 on die, but I don't know.
But you can also
I will help you.
You'll help me to point out all the tieflings? Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 19. That's much better. Thank you.
With a 19, you can see going into the large front doors of the castle a what appears to be a tiefling, because they have like antelope horns that are cream colored with red at the tip, long flowing purple hair, and a purple tail that is delicately wrapped around their waist as they kind of strut hot to trot into the castle.
Hot to cloven trot.
Hot to cloven trot.
Yeah, so Love's feeling very comfortable with her general tiefling nature. She doesn't really hide the fact that she's a tiefling unless it's a strategic choice given the environment, but yeah. And then she still has her glasses on and comes out and still has her staff and is ready to go.
Perfect.
She's feeling it. Like it's a good time. Like she doesn't get to dress up very often, so this is like gonna have a good time. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Alright, so I got who, if anybody asks me who I am, I got who I am. Does everybody have a little cover story of who they are, since we can't say, hey, we're from a reality outside of this book? Love, you want to be like cousin to the queen, or the soon-to-be queen? Third cousin?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of be myself, and I'm going to say that I'm a traveling monastically trained librarian, and I'm here to catalog any maps or the family tree, and really take note of this momentous occasion of the royal family getting a new member.
That's good. That's good.
So I don't have to lie, because that seems like a bad time for me.
Well, I have multiple instruments that I could loan you out. Something we could be the Beatles.
We can be bugs.
Yes.
So Eric, I'm gonna level with you, out of character here for a moment, right? I, as Connor, I do not like the Beatles, right? It is one of the few flaws that I have in my existence as a human being. I don't like the Beatles. However, one of my favorite D&D groups has a constantly running joke about being the Beatles. So I'm torn, you see, and I don't know what to do.
We can be the
Well, you can't plug them.
Beatles.
I casually plug them, but it's a separate channel,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna name drop them. But I'm gonna just say that they're awesome. That's it.
Now I've only got two other musical instruments on me, and so that is either the pan flute and this horn. I'm keeping my lid.
Yeah, I'm not much of a player, so I think I'll go with the personal trainer bit.
You don't have to be good at it. We just have to, lie our way past and have the option to lie our way past.
Hey, I mean, I don't gotta lie about me being strong and be wanting to make other people stronger. If they want me to play a song, I'm gonna have a hard time doing that without breaking your little instrument.
Mordau, you can see at a stall across the way, it is just a urchin child that has set up a little upturned box, and on the box there are a couple of spoons that have been fashioned together. You can see what looks to be a harmonica, and you can see 2 coconuts that have been halved.
Okay, I'll bring the coconuts just in case we gotta fall onto this, but I don't want to be a bug.
Which of the instruments is would you say is the easiest to play? Because I'm not very good or talented.
Oh,
All right, I'll take the harmonica. Passes the coconuts over to Love.
Oh, thank you so much.
uh, probably this horn.
We used to play We used to play one instrument back at the clan.
See, if you're good, you play it like a trumpet. If you're bad, you just change your breath pattern. All of a sudden, you do it real fast, and it's jazz.
That sounds terrible. I'm in. I'll take the horn.
Oh, you can freestyle anything. And if they really don't like it, you blow it right at them.
You unlocked a memory for me, Eric, which is unfortunate. My senior year of high school, I was in theater, and we did Music Man, and my director, decided it would be a great idea to go around to the other elementary schools in the area and teach them how to play instruments like in the musical. And she got us all kazoos. So we went around to all of these elementary schools handing out kazoos and teaching children how to play them and encouraging them to play them at home. And that's what you just unlocked for me.
Unacceptable.
I know.
You're welcome.
I still have mine. Anyway. What would you guys like to do now that everybody's all changed and we've got instruments?
Kunda's basically looking at the grip and it's just face palm. I'm like,
What's your story, Quindar?
I'm Sir Wesselton.
You're
of
what?
Umbridge. Sir Wesselton of Umbridge.
Okay. And if they ask, where's Umbridge?
Health.
Getting chased by centaurs.
Oh my god.
I just in this sense of we don't really understand the geography of this world that we're in.
And he's probably just gonna say, I'm gonna fake it until I make it.
That's fair. It's a small town. You probably have never heard of it.
I like it. I think we're all set. Shall we?
All right, let's do this.
We enter the castle. There are large wooden oak doors that are being manned by two young lads who are human. They open the doors for you, and inside you are met with not only heat from millions, not even millions, like a lot of candles burning and hanging candelabra chandeliers and large candelabras on either side of the room. You enter a large words don't work, brain no work, entrance hall. That's the thing I was looking for. You enter a large entrance hall that is completely made out of gray stone. There are brightly colored rugs that run the length of this room and go straight into the back, where you can notice a large and imposing throne. You can also see, Lily, don't laugh at me in the Twitch chat. I see you. You see a large and imposing throne that is gilded gracefully against a large banner depicting the house crest. A large lion that is rearing back triumphantly with a blazing crown going over its head. At the feet of the king, who you presume is the one who is sitting in that large throne, is a large animal skin. There happens to be a smaller throne next to his throne on the dais that is currently empty. And on its seat sits a lavish golden woven crown. You can see it sparkling even from this distance of the stairwell that you stand atop of. There are dozens of people milling about in this room, and you can see that there are 4 different doors on either side of the hall that presumably lead off into different areas of the castle. You can smell foods and spices. You can hear the clinking of glasses, and laughing women and chuckling men roar from all around this room. And as you step forward onto the platform that descends into this entrance hall, you notice a portly-looking human man with a long scroll extended in his hands, and he looks at you questioningly, as if waiting for you to introduce yourselves so that he can project your names throughout the audience chamber.
I look towards the grip and just say, like,
All right, you first, Quindar. I mean, Sir Wellington.
Wesselton.
The portly man says, Sir Wesselton. And you can hear the the tones of the room hush just enough to listen to what this man is saying.
Like, might I add, even though it's disguised and stuff, he has a cane. He has a cane, very ornate.
The portly man looks to the rest of you.
Love's gonna step forward and then turn back to the others in the group and go, "Okay, nobody make fun of my name. Got it?
Oh my god.
Nobody." And she turns back.
And then
It's like the most
so-
serious you've ever seen her. Just. And then she turns back and then she whispers, "Cloven shod de livre."
And the portly man squints his eyes and leans forward again.
Cloven shod de livre.
And you can see him kind of go like, cloven shod de livre.
And Love just thinking everyone's looking at her and just like hustles forward.
You can roll perception if you want.
Yeah, I do.
No
I don't
one
know
is
about
looking at
you, but I'm feeling. No one's looking at me?
No one's looking at you down at the party.
Nah.
The only people that are looking at you are your party.
Nah, they are. I can feel it. I can feel their eyes burning me.
The portly man looks to the rest of the group.
John Bon Jovi.
Damn it. The portly man goes, Jean Bon Jovi. And then looks towards Mordau.
Mordau of Clan Viento, Breaker of Wheels.
And the portly man looks at you and says, what he said. And then closes the scroll and takes a step back, folding his arms behind himself.
That's fair. Might have been a little bit long for you.
And
Pats
you
him on the
all-
head.
He kind of goes, You all are welcome to descend the stairs and join the party.
All right, time for a drink.
You can see that there are banquet tables to the sides with just kind of finger foods and large punch bowls. There is even a chandelier, or not a chandelier, a champagne flute mountain on one of the boodly bops.
I'd take one of the punch bowls.
It has a little ladle in the bowl.
Don't need this.
Okay.
I'll take the ladle and just little. Yum.
Brings it down for Love to get a little bit of it. All right.
Love, roll perception for me again.
18.
People are now starting to look your way.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh guys,
All
come
right.
on. God,
think
this
we're-
is awkward.
I think we're blending in pretty well.
Just to mediate the distraction, you see him just untuck his suit and stuff, and then he basically just pulls out just to draw the crowd away from you guys. You see what looks like to be bread that's kind of blue, and he's just munching on it as a distraction from that.
The ticket is, I'll distract everyone while you try to find out where the book is. And if you guys need any help, I'll come going for you.
That's a good idea.
I mean, as an 8-foot guy, I already was gonna figure I was not gonna go unnoticed, but might as well roll with it.
Would you like me to spike that punch bowl for you?
Nope, no need. I already put all that
Thousand Island, that second, not Thousand Island, that
It's
Long
basically a
Island in here.
Thousand Island. It's
Yeah.
basically a Thousand Island iced tea.
It's all the islands. Yep, I
It's
made a
every
new
island.
invention.
As
Let's
I'm looking,
party!
as I'm looking around the room, do I notice any animals?
Roll investigation. Yeah, roll investigation for me, please.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Yes. You do not notice any animals in this room in particular, but you do notice that the pelt that is at the king's feet from his throne is a donkey pelt. And it is quite large from most mules that you have seen in your time adventuring.
Uh, then any vantage points where I can sneak off to?
No vantage points, but there are those 4 doors, there are 2 on each side of the room that will lead into other parts of the castle, which are currently open, and you can hear sounds of different revelry coming from those rooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna point towards love and stuff, and just to say like just say, and again make a bit of a scene, like just link arms and just take her somewhere, like we're about to go onto the dance floor. And yes, he asks, "Would you like to dance, madam?"
To Love?
To Yep.
Okay. Yes. And
Don't worry, we won't be dancing.
oh no, we
I'll
can.
hold-
That's totally fine. I'm
I'll
trying to
hold
think.
your ladle.
That's what I was trying to get rid of, but
No, I
I was
got
gonna
it.
keep it. But no, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, and then give the ladle back. And yeah, sure. That sounds great. And she'll offer her hand and then elbow and not know how to do the thing.
Just follow my lead. Giving her a wink.
Love just. Oh, okay. Works for me. Yeah, and absolutely head out to the dance floor.
Perfect. The dance floor is in the center of this room. It is being occupied by 3 other couples at this time. It is in direct sightline of the king, who is on his throne on the dais, and you can hear a string band play softly.
While we're dancing, can I, like in a heist movie, can I see what I can see in the room that would kind of ping my like interest as we take the turn around? Whether I think focusing on objects more than people.
Okay, and what are your interests?
I think I want to look for. Actually, let me take that back for a moment. What Love is looking for is if we're looking for an important item, where
Uh-huh.
would that item be?
Are you looking for the book?
Yeah, I think it's kind of looking for like where's the. I think Love is really hung up on this is a story and is very excited to be in a story, and so it's like what's the plot focal point for this? Like not so much the book, not so much like the king or the crown or anything in particular. It's like where's like soften the focus. where's my plot sense tingling to send me towards?
I will grant you the knowledge that you, of all people, know that books are typically found in libraries.
Cool.
And
Let me write that
I
down.
will
Hang
ask
on.
you. What?
I said, let me write that down. Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Libraries, you say? Sorry.
Just the other day, Connor said to me, I'm so happy that our mother was a librarian because anytime we needed a present, she'd say, here, have a book. And she raised 2 neurodivergent children who don't know how to read
It's true.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lisa.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Otherwise, roll a history check for me at advantage, please.
Okay. At advantage, you say?
At advantage.
Remember to click that advantage button.
To shreds, you say.
A 16.
A 16, you know, from stories or from your adventures, that animal pelts are typically ferocious beasts.
Hmm.
And yet the one that lays at the king's feet is a donkey. And it's a rather large donkey at that.
Mm-hmm. Does it? I mean, I'm picturing like the full like polar bear style Adam's Family rug, right? Like head, arms out, and like full face exposed. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'll nod that to Quendar as we're doing our loops, and bring up. Yeah, that's kind of an odd choice for a prized beast, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's been eyeing it and stuff. It's like seeing the decoration and stuff, and then the donkey pelt is like this. Um, can you get a sense that because of what's happening to the king, that the pelt is basically just out of place, like the elephant, like an elephant in the room?
Are you trying to figure out if like anybody else is paying attention to this pelt? To see if it's like a weird decoration?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Roll insight. Either insight or perception.
10.
Okay. You can, with a 10, you can see that nobody is really paying it any mind in this castle. And as you get closer, going off of your previous 20 for investigation, you should be able to notice that there is very little, minuscule, in fact, wear and tear on the pelt itself.
Like it's brand new.
Not necessarily that it's brand new. You can tell that it's been there for a while, but it hasn't been stepped on. There's no like indents in its pelt, whereas some other decorative pieces would more likely have some type of indents in them from being walked on.
Yeah, I'm gonna point that out to Lala. That rug is just its condition is a bit off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. That's Okay. Yeah. Suspicious.
Well, where do you think you need to be for your little spell to start working?
As long as I'm within 1,000 feet, I can at least try.
And it works for 10 minutes?
All it does is tell me, hey, it's here, it's there, and I'd have to work my way towards it. It doesn't summon it for me.
Right.
So,
Feel like an open house party is the best time as ever to be able to walk
to
around.
wander around, yeah. And so we have time as we sit here eating chips and dip. And since he already spiked his own punch bowl, I'll go ahead and spike the others.
Can I get another bowl, please?
Oh,
Yes.
You can see a few servants running around. Some of them have trays of finger food, and they're extending them out to different party goers. You find a servant with empty arms coming out of one of the doors on the right-hand side of the room, and they walk over to you with a quizzical look, saying, "I'm sorry. Do we need any more punch here? Did we run out?"
New punch bowl, please. Yes, thank you.
Yes, of course. And they take the punch bowl from you, and they scurry off back through the door. And a moment later, they come with some difficulty carrying a new punch bowl that is filled to the brim with red liquid.
Do you know where the queen is?
The queen, well, her Majesty, Kaima, passed away several months ago. Gods rest her soul.
But the celebration was for a new queen, correct?
Oh, yes. Of course. Yes, we're not sure. We're not sure where her ladyship is. I'm sure the king is waiting until the third day of the ball to announce her.
And where might we be able to pay our respects to the late queen?
Oh, well, you see, His Majesty, King Savea, has decreed that all portraits of Her late Majesty be removed out of respect for his daughter and his mourning process. And so, therefore, there is also no true area where we are to pay respects to Her late Majesty.
And where are all these paintings taken?
I would not know, sir. I do apologize. I'm a servant of the kitchens, not of the rest of the house.
So there would be hand servants that would know where they took all these paintings.
I'm not too certain, my lord.
Hey, we're all
roll-
friends here. Pours
Roll-
a cup of the punch and hands it to him.
The head
Roll
butler.
persuasion for me, please.
The head butler might know.
Roll
Yes,
insight,
please.
Eric. Persuasion for Mordau with a 16. He takes the cup and he nervously glances around at the rest of the party to see if anyone is watching, and he quickly takes a drink.
Don't worry, you're just checking the cup to see if it was clean.
Yes, you're quite right, my lord. And then he places it, still pretty full, on the table. And Quill, with your 21 in insight, you can see that he absolutely knows who would know where the portraits have been taken, and you can even infer that the head butler is the one who has taken care of that job.
You have so many duties to attend to. Please let us stop distracting you. Do be well.
Thank you, my lord. Yes, we have been quite short-staffed the past few days. It would be a great help to cook if I went back to my duties. And he bows very deeply and then scurries away.
And I bow politely enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mordo just nods his head. All right, fine, Butler.
Quill, you said your passive perception is a 13?
Yes.
You notice that up at the dais where the king sits, there is a figure who is immaculately dressed in a servant's uniform, but a high-end servant's uniform, is sneaking behind the king's throne and leans forward to whisper in his ear before leaning back to stand at attention.
Do I notice that as well while we're dancing?
Your passive perception is 12?
Yep.
You notice the tail end of that. You can see him straighten up and stand at attention. What's your passive perception? 18.
I'm sorry. I took the canny ability because of the ranger replacement stuff. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you for making the story move along and for being such a good player.
Oh, thanks.
You noticed this individual walk up from the from one of the servants' doors behind the throne, and then stand at the king's side, lean in, whisper something into his ear, and then stand back at attention.
Is that a normally accessible door, or is that like stage entrance style, off limits to us normal people?
You notice that the 4 doors in this room are open, and this one door is closed.
Okay. I'll point all that out to Quendar as well for our dancing bit.
All right, cool. So, we talking to this butler, or are we gonna talk straight to the king?
I'm afraid you and I don't have quite the position to talk directly to a king. That is, unless he is offering, oh gods, what's they call it?
Audience.
Yeah, but royals, they got a special word for things.
I mean,
But
open
yes.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's a party. He's looking at all of us. We can approach.
We
Or
might
we
be able
could-
to stand in front of him and bow, and he
Or we
might nod,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean we get to talk to him. However, we could perhaps talk to the butler.
Yeah. I'm sure we could find a back way through one of these other doorways.
You hear chiming on glass, and you can see the king rise to his feet from his throne, and the party falls silent before you. And the king, and even the music stops, And the king spreads out his arms as he holds a champagne flute in his hand and says, "My friends, welcome to my humble abode. Thank you for joining me on this auspicious adventure. I know that it has been quite soon since we have lost my dear wife and your queen, Her Majesty Liralel Kaima. And it is with great sadness that we mourn her loss, as she was loved not only by you, my people, but also by me, as well as our daughter. Now, at this time, I want us to think not of my dear wife's passing, but instead of the great joys that life has to offer still. A life after death. And what is life after death and mourning but a celebration? And so for these 3 days, I bid us to celebrate the memory of my dear wife and to celebrate the accomplishments of our people. And then I bid us to celebrate a new age for our kingdom. A new age and a new ruler as I happily take a new wife in Laurel's. No. I can't remember the character names I made. As I take a new wife in Lyriel's memory. Please enjoy yourselves. Dance, eat, and be merry. There's a big applause from the partygoers, and the king sits back down.
For the kingdom! And then I just keep on drinking my punch bowl.
Several people in the audience say, "Hear, hear!" and drink deeply from their cups.
Love is going to head off of the dance floor, assuming that the music stopped for the proclamation. Is going to head off the dance floor, ideally leading Quendar along too, back kind of around the other two, but offset a little bit. So we're like congregated around the concessions, but not like obviously huddled up in any kind of fashion. And share the information about the donkey skin and say, "Did you see that guy come out and whisper to the king before the speech happened? Because, yeah, it's I don't like that guy."
Problem is, there's a lot happening around us all at once, and we don't know who's a friend and who's a foe. We know we're looking for this book, and yet we don't know anything that we're supposed to be doing around here. We know that the one entry that Mordau was able to read said that the king's wife was dying and that she wished for him to marry someone as beautiful as herself. And yet, every bit of iconography of the late queen has been moved. So, how are we to confirm that? Now, I just had, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? As
You're saying we need to track down a beholder.
no, absolutely not.
How did you know my secret twist for this arc?
Hey, just as I just move over into a larger group, and I start saying something about our late queen and how benevolent they were and how wonderful. and really talk about the celebration. Now, if what I'm saying is too outlandish, I do have a +6 to deception, but I want to keep it as vague as possible. And I do have a +8 to persuasion.
Okay. The people that are in this little huddle that you have integrated into, Gesundheit, eye you up and down. You can tell that they are a little bit more part of the aristocracy, and are kind of taking your measure to see if you would truly fit in with their clique. But ultimately, they're getting drunk and they are here for the goss. One of the women will lean into you, bumping shoulders with you, and says, "Oh yes, we're so bereaved for the passing of our dear late Majesty Kaima. But a celebration is a celebration, and any reason to get into the king's house is a good one, don't you think?"
Well, I only meant to think that I only hope her new Grace is as wonderful as our old Grace.
Oh, I have no doubt of that. You know, the king has wonderful taste in women. Why, I thought at some point that perhaps I could even be the new majesty of the kingdom. But alas, I know that I would never be as beautiful as Her Majesty Kaima. And did you know that that is what she asked of him? I heard it from one of her ladies in waiting's, her maid, that Her Majesty Kaima told her husband, the king, that he would not be able to remarry until he found someone as beautiful as she was. And truly, I don't think that that's even possible. Why, she was gorgeous. She was the most beautiful woman in the land. What with her long dark hair and her beautiful dark eyes. Oh, she was a vision to be sure.
Yeah, but more than her hair and her eyes was her heart, really. Her heart that she lived for her people.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you could never find a nicer monarch. She cared for us, her friends and the aristocracy, just as much as she cared for the lesser people. Oh, we mocked her when she first rose to power. We did. I am almost ashamed to admit it. I wish I had trusted her judgment, but alas, we mocked her, and I will always feel guilty about that. However, she was kind to every soul who called her kingdom home, and she even changed the king's heart to do the same. Oh, that's the reason that there are so many different mixes of class here at this party, and surely at the wedding as well.
They even let me in.
Ah, you said it, not me.
Uh, but I just wave my hands, and all of it begins to like glow and sparkle just a little bit.
The women of the group giggle and clap delightedly, and the men will even go a ho ho kind of reaction.
Parlor tricks, parlor tricks.
Oh, still better magic than I've ever seen. Surely the court magician couldn't even hold a candle to your delightful flame, I'm sure.
Yeah, doubt it. I really mean it. A parlor trick.
Oh, don't sell yourself so short, please.
Oh no, it's education. I don't have natural breeding, such as you'll find selves.
Oh,
I had hard work, education, uh, and where you had the ability to shirk responsibility should you wanted to, I had nothing else to do, nowhere else to fall back on, no parents or money to ever save me through what I wanted to do. And I had to become the very best at what I do. Uh, and I will give them the world's greatest neg.
Yep. They're feeling it.
And you know what? I'll go ahead and gaslight them too.
You know, I would say that you have not only girl bossed, but you've also decided to gaslight, so now you just need to gatekeep to finish it out.
Yeah. Um. So.
Say you know the queen option, and they don't.
Well. Sadly, I was forced into a life of dedication and work and solving problems for people, and called by people very much like yourselves. And now, all I have to do is show you the evidence of your spouse, and I'll just sit here and just point at the entire group and show you what they're doing with their misters and mistresses. And I just wave around the room. And, in His Majesty's kingdom, there are rules on who gets to keep what. Don't worry, everything's safe and sound. Nothing you got to worry about. Upstanding folks, such as yourselves.
The woman has been listening to you as intently as she possibly can. But you find her losing interest the longer that you speak. She's trying to be polite about it. She's trying to listen to you, but you can just see the alcohol cloud her vision as her attention starts to pull away elsewhere at the party.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've taken up too much of your time. Do say hello to your mistress for me, and I look at just past her.
Mm-hmm.
So she can look in whatever way and figure out who I'm trying to talk to. As I will bow out and do I do it? Do I do it? In all this time, is there enough to just finally let Vicious Mockery sink in as I walk away?
Do you really want to kill an NPC this way? Do you really want to have a murder on the dance floor?
They're imaginary characters. Well,
Do you
don't
really
do
want
it.
to kill the mood? No. Yeah, feel free.
Don't kill the.
Look, it's already not a great book from where Quill's sitting, but now it could be a murder mystery.
You described Quill as an asshole. Do you want to follow through?
He's
Is he a
been
murderer?
casually insulting everyone this entire time.
Roll
Intrusive thought.
intrusive thought. No, roll either perception or insight.
Perception or insight?
I feel like intrusive thought is like easily like the greatest wisdom save ever. That's fantastic, Dan. Good job.
Is it wisdom saving throw then?
Nah, I'm not the DM. I'm commenting on Dan while you
Alright,
warm
so
up your
roll-
rolling.
It's really good though.
Rolling insight.
Uh-huh.
15.
See, now I'm at a conflict. this woman has never been more attracted to somebody in her life as she is attracted to you in this moment. She takes out her fan and she flips it open and she does a little
Hold on. Does Quill actually care? Nope.
Somewhere in Quill's mind, he remembers and realizes that this is a literal fictional character and that this will more than likely go nowhere and may not even go past this ballroom.
Worse than fictional character. You remind me of my mother.
Okay, so she's going to take 2d4 psychic damage. To get another dice.
Got some tears on the dance floor now.
She is having a panic at this disco. You hear her verbally go, "Oh!" and then she scuttles away.
All right, good news. So, Queen had long dark hair, beautiful dark eyes, and she actually was an absolute gem. Beautiful soul, good for the people, good for the land. So we may be looking for someone of a physical or a other description, emotional.
I think we still track down one of those portraits.
Exactly, which we need to go talk to the butler about. Now, as I was just seen schmoozing with certain individuals who were likely about to complain, Love, Quinda, I believe you're up. Because I'm about to be asked to leave.
Let's just go to the back rooms.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll make space, but
I'm gonna point out Quill, and this is the idea I had because I have now seen to have a look at because the interaction Mordo had with the servant and stuff, just as a bit of caution and stuff. And I said this in front of Love and stuff. I'm going to quickly go and relieve myself and give Love a bit of a wink. And I'm going to ask for a servant which way to the lavatory and kingdoms and stuff.
The servant that you flagged down says, "Oh, yes, of course. Down this hole," and they point to the door. The first door to your left says, "Down this hole, the first right, and then your second left, and then straight ahead until you find the door at the back. It should be attended by another servant, but you should find it no problem. Just follow the peonies."
Thank you.
You're welcome, my lord.
And I'll probably ask Love, do you want to accompany me?
Yeah, let's all go.
I think, as much as I'm loath to, split us up, I think if we kind of branch out and then try and come back here, or at least at the entrance doors. And we'll meet in, like, say an hour. Let's see what we can find all kind of grouped out. I think if we stick around here, we're going to draw too much attention to ourselves as all being outsiders. I think we have a better chance of blending in, using our cover stories, and yeah, I think I want to try and sneak in the back, if that's okay with you guys. I think I can do it.
He just give a slight little thumbs up.
Okay. Let's meet in the back. Who can't tell time? Not you, nerd. Okay, I have a trick, and I can do a trick, and it'll help us out. Here's what I'm gonna do. And is there like a small, like, pocket-sized object around us? And if so, what would it be?
Like spoons?
Like a spoon?
Spoons, forks, glasses.
Is there a
Lights.
spoon? I'm going to take a spoon. Okay, Love's gonna pick up a spoon, and she's gonna, like, kind of hide it in her cloak for a second, and, like, get real close and whisper down to it, and then pull it out, and it's gonna be, like, glowing with, like a greenish light kind of thing. And she's like, okay, if I get in trouble, whoever has this, if this turns off, you need to come and find me. Okay? Who wants to be my cavalry?
Kunal would just grab it and just put it in his pocket behind his book.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So, if that goes off before an hour from now, come and find me. All right?
Yep.
Cool. And then Love's going to take her staff back out, and kind of, like, set off with a different posture of I'm going to schmooze now, and she's going to work her way around the room to one of the open servants' doors, and ideally go inside.
Into one of the servants' doors?
Yeah.
Okay. They close it behind them, but you can open it if you want.
I'm sorry. I thought you said that there was the closed door up on the thing, and then there were open door. Oh no, the open doors go elsewhere. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna go towards wherever the most food is where Love is gonna go.
You follow your nose, and you eventually find down one of the hallways the kitchen. It is very busy. It was down some stairs, down some stone stairs. It's very busy. You can see plenty of servants shuffling around. You even passed two servants on the stairs going down onto this kind of basement level. And you can hear one woman with authority kind of shouting. And she's barking orders to these servants. Mm-hmm. And you can hear them kind of whimper as she is barking orders at them. And at one point, it gets kind of quiet. Most of the servants have left. It is just you and this cook. She has not noticed you yet. And she goes, "Blast, I could really use the help of that girl. Where the fuck did she go? Oh, I have to do everything myself around here anyway." And then she pulls out a knife and begins to cut into carrots on a back counter.
What are the servants wearing? Like, what's their uniform look like?
They are wearing a white, or like a white cream tunic, and they are wearing navy blue breeches and tall black leather boots that seem to have been shined for this occasion.
Okay. So in the kitchen, there's just the single cook and me, and she does not know I'm there yet?
Correct.
Okay, other entrances and doors in the kitchen?
Besides the entrance to the stairwell that you went through, beyond the cook on the far wall ahead of you, there is a closed wooden door. And then on either other wall, there are two smaller doors. You notice that the doorway that you came from and the doorway past the cook are both rounded portholes, uh, and the other two doors are square or rectangular.
Okay. What I would like to do is... Okay. I'm going to cast Dancing Light.
Okay.
And I want to use this Dancing Light in the shape of... because it... Here, I will do the post. There you go. But I can make 4 torch-sized lights within range. And they appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs that hover in the air for the duration. What I would like to do is I would like to make it look like there is a fire on the opposite side from where the square, one of the square doors is. So I'm going to try and distract the no, not yet. That's my other light up spell. You good, Eric? So I would like to distract the cook into looking that way so I can get behind her into one of the square doors, is what I'm attempting to do.
So you want to do it more towards like the rounded door?
Yes.
Yeah. You do that, and the cook looks up as she pushes her chopped carrots into a big stew pot that is roasting on a fire beside her workplace. And she goes, "The blazes! Oh God's blazes! Ah!" And she begins to walk towards that door.
Cool. Then I'm going to stride with as soft a foot as I can, but with purpose, behind her, like Hitman style, to then go to the door that's outside of her vision.
Okay, roll stealth.
Oh no, I have to roll for it? Nobody
Yeah,
said
you do.
anything about rolling.
I literally did.
I know. Wait, where'd it go?
You got a nat 1, buddy.
Hell yeah, I did.
Please
Hell-
use this correction.
Love's a tiefling, right?
Love is sure a tiefling.
What's her tail doing right now?
I think Love forgets that her tail is there. Because it's like, you know, prehensile but instinctual, like cat style, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm gonna stride with purpose, and she's put her staff back, and she starts walking, but her tail is like up in the like Pink Panther theme. So as it's swishing, it I guess catches something. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like a big old clatter of everything.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a cake on one of the counters, and her tail just goes directly into it and then out of it, and then the force of it getting pulled out of the cake makes the cake fall onto the floor and drag its plate with it, and the plate shatters on the ground and the cake smushes, and the cook turns around and says, "The fuck? Oh! I spent 5 hours on that cake!"
Hey, friend. I was
Friend?
just passing through, and could I, as I say, hey, friend, and I finger gun, can I cast Charm Person? Or attempt to cast Charm Person?
You sure can.
Okay.
It's a Wisdom 14.
Yes, please.
The cook looks at you and goes, "What the fuck do you think you're doing in my kitchen, destroying my cake, without saying hello to your old friend and giving me a hug?
Hey!
Walks over and embraces you tightly, cracking your back as she does.
Aw, thanks, girl.
And she sets you back on the floor. And she goes, "Bloody hell, are you doing here?"
Oh, well, you see, I was actually on my way through. I have a little bit of a meeting with the head butler, if you know what I mean. And so I was just kind of like trying to sneak back here and sneak him a little gift, just to kind of say he's doing such a great job with this whole thing. Yeah.
Fuck you trying to do get on Ironwood's good side.
Oh.
Bastard hasn't known a day of goodness his entire fucking life. Made everything trouble for us.
Well,
He's the one
like,
that told me to work on that cake, as if we're not having a wedding in 2 days, and I gotta start planning the catering for that. Can you believe that?
I can. I mean, it's Ironwood. You know how he is.
Ironwood, and she spits on the ground onto the cake.
Yeah, that's that guy. So, when I say like a gift, what I really mean is I need to have a talk with him and give him the gift of being nice to his, employees. And I think it's really important that I'm the one who gives him a what for. Do you know where he is right now? That way I can tell
You
him.
want to give him some of that spoiled shellfish I almost threw out from last night's dinner, don't you?
I mean,
give him a little shrimp cocktail to take his mind off of preparations.
If you have some, I would appreciate it. Like, yeah, I mean, whatever you think is best.
I put some in the cold box, ready for this kind of shite all night.
Fantastic.
Was gonna send that blasted girl to go take it to him, give her something for abandoning her post, but I haven't seen her all night. What do you want with him anyway?
With Ironwood?
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said, like I really want to give him just a piece of my mind about the way that he treats his employees here. Yourself, my friend included.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that like I can really give him the gift of being nice to people, because I think that's awfully important. I mean, he has the ear of the king. You know what they say, and so like maybe this is a good opportunity to like make things better for the future.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So if you could just point me in his direction, I'll make sure I give him the right kind of information that he should be having.
Probably checking on the next bleeding queen of this shell.
Oh yeah, and that sounds like a job definitely worthy of him. So is he right through there or over there or
through there? No, course not. Course not. He's up on the 3rd level where the king and the queen and the princess sleep.
Right.
All their quarters.
Right.
The royal types, the important type.
Their all chambers. The way up there. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna head on up there. I'm in the wrong spot, but it was lovely to see you. I'm really happy I got to see you. I appreciate that. So, I hope everything. I'm sorry about your cake, but
Oh, that was Ironwood's idea. He figured a buttercream vanilla white sheet cake would be the best thing for the celebration. I tried to tell him, "Oh, Thorsten, you should really let me decide. I think a red velvet would be great for the celebration, and then we can do a nice little lavender sweet cake for the wedding." And he said, "No, you fool. Gotta keep it all prim and proper for the fancy pantsy bitches upstairs."
You know what? I think you should do your cake idea, because that sounds amazing. That sounds delicious. And Love's kind of like backing up, finger gunning now, and be like, you know what? I'm gonna let you do that because I think that's the way to go. And I'll come by if I can and see you before I leave. Say goodbye one last time. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that before you leave town tonight. While you're up there, if you see a scullery maid with a dirty face and dirty hands, wears a fur coat in the middle of the hot kitchen, tell her I'm looking for her. She's been shirking her duties.
Really? A fur coat, you say?
Fur coat in the middle of a bleeding castle. Health code violation number 1, heat stroke warning number 2.
That's
Wouldn't believe it.
crazy. Okay, you know what? That's a great point. Yeah, I'll go and look for that scullery maid for you in the fur coat, and I'll go talk to Ironwood up on the 3rd floor. So you keep on keeping on, and yeah, I'll just see you in a bit. And Love is like on the stairs now, like finger gunning and finger hand crossbowing, and like mostly up the stairs.
Appreciate it, my friend. You enjoy your evening and get Thorsten Ironwood or what for?
Yeah, thanks, Cookie. She shouts down and like gets back up there and just like has a full-on anxiety panic attack of, oh no, what have I done? Oh my, oh duh.
A luck check.
A what check?
A luck.
A luck check. Is that just a
Roll
D20?
a d20.
A D20. How about?
Okay.
Wait, screen.
Okay.
Lucky 13.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna head back into the dance floor and try and find my compatriots. Cause, ugh.
I'm gonna say like as he's heading towards the bathroom, like and he's basically following the direction. He's noting all the certain places and stuff. And they said there's someone outside the front of the toilet.
Yep. There's like an attending, just a servant who's kind of like holding a tray of hand towels.
Is he the only one?
Yes, there are 2 doors, presumably one for male-leaning people and one for female-leaning people. And he is standing in between those 2 doors with the tray of the hand towels.
Yeah, as I'm walking towards him, like I'm making sure, like if I pull this off, I'm gonna be like a like a little ninja, and I'm gonna walk towards him, and I'm gonna cast command.
All right.
I need them to do me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. What's my DC?
13.
13? All right.
Yep.
With an 8, they do not pass.
I'm going to immediately click to the warden and say, "Leave. Just leave."
As the word washes over them, you see their eyes grow wide with terror. They drop the tray of hand towels and they go sprinting down the corridor.
Brilliant. And I just go into the I'll look into the bathroom. Is anyone in the bathroom?
Roll investigation.
No, that is a 4.
No way to know. There are stalls lining one wall, and they are, as all bathrooms should be, in my opinion, down to the floor with privacy screens.
I'm just gonna go into one of the stalls and just sit and wait like I'm not. Even if they can't see me and stuff, I'm just gonna sit and wait in the stall.
Okay. A few moments pass and you hear no signs of movement. Nobody appears to be in the room with you.
Okay, then I'm gonna use again, gonna be like a ninja and stuff, and because I'm dropping concentration on current span and going to a new one. Basically, seeing that nobody's around, I am going to immediately become invisible.
Okay. All right. I sees you. I don't, but I sees you.
And I'm just going
Now
to go back out the way. Back out the way I came.
the door opens as if on a breeze. Nobody is in the hallway coming towards you or walking away from you, and you are able to walk down the hallway with ease.
So what do I notice? I came from the left, didn't I?
Yes. So rejoining the structure of hallways that would like lead back into the ballroom, you notice further down the hallway, leading away from the ballroom, there are a collection of more rooms that seem to have more revelry going on. There are shrill laughs of women, and there are clinking of glasses. You would also notice that at the very end of this hallway, there's a staircase leading up into another level.
Then I'm gonna go up those stairs, but quietly, even though I'm invisible, I'm gonna try and do stealthy.
Okay. Roll stealth for me then.
Do you want me to do just normal or
I would say at advantage because you are invisible.
okay? Yeah, I'm just going to do two, three. Okay. I'm
Ooh.
what a what a I don't think a 9 will help. 7. It's like
Do it again because you had advantage.
no, that another 9.
Your boots are a little bit too heavy on the stairs, and
Wait, aren't you a rogue though? You would have had stuff added to it. I
No,
don't think
I'm
you.
not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a rogue.
we got a warlock in our midst.
Get it.
Your boots are a little bit too heavy on the stairway, and you, unfortunately, as you reach the top of the stairs, experience a floorboard creaking very loudly, and there is a guard at the top of that staircase, armored and holding there is a long sword at his hip, with his hand on the hilt, ready to draw it out if need be. And as the floorboard creaks beneath your weight, he snaps his head up and says, "Who's there?"
I say nothing.
And he turns to look at the staircase, and seeing nothing, he continues to watch it for a moment, and then he exhales through his mouth and waits to see if something arises, and it doesn't, and he draws his sword. What would you like to do as he starts to move it slowly back and forth in the portal opening?
Yankee. What I notice in the surrounding area.
Like what's further down that hallway?
Yep.
A collection of rooms, And then at the very end, another staircase leading upwards again.
Nah. Hmm. Yeah, even though he's invisible and stuff, he's gonna pull out his dagger. He's gonna pull out his dagger, and because I'm invisible, I'm gonna like try and creep around him.
He is looking directly in your location, like down the stairwell. So if you become uninvisible, he's going to see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and just somewhat bolt, and just make it as if like a ghost is in here.
Roll me stealth with disadvantage.
Okay. Uh, 12.
Okay. With a 12 against his perception, he sees you and he reaches out and grabs you by the back of your cloak as you try to run past him. And he hauls you back to look at him. And he says,
Yeah, at this point, it's like it's basically he's now kicked in his kill it. His kill it. His spy instincts, and I'm going to he's gonna drop his invisibility, but I'm gonna cast command again and just say kneel. Another dexterity, another wisdom saving throw, please.
okay. What is my DC again?
13.
13. With a 14, he narrows his eyes at you and says, I only kneel for the king. What are you trying to do up here?
Just checking out the place. You know. And again, he now sees that my disguise is dropped, and he's basically looking at a drow with glowing red eyes.
Yep. And he goes, the party is reserved to the first floor only. I would recommend, if you don't want to spend the celebration in the dungeon at the hands of the executioner, you'll cease trying to sneak around upstairs.
Sure. And does he look terrified? As again, it's like knowing what person we talked to before. He's not visibly scared.
Nope, he is cool as a cucumber.
Okay, then no worries, and he basically just walks back down and just snaps fingers like damn it.
He releases the scruff of your clothes and allows you to walk down the stairs, but now he is pointedly standing in front in the middle of that stairwell entrance with his sword drawn.
I'm just gonna walk back into the bathroom.
Okay. Quill and Mordau, what are you guys doing? It's been a while since we checked in with you.
How many punch bowls can you carry?
I'm done with this one. We trying to sneak through the servants' quarters?
No. I think, be as bombastic as possible. Do the exact opposite of trying to sneak around and just do what the fuck we want.
Okay, easy enough.
We're going with the anti-stealth stealth.
Okay. right.
Yeah. I'm going to grab another punch bowl, and I'm going to be drinking 2 punch bowls at once.
Double fisting it. Just
No, I'm just being like 2 beer bongs, essentially. Yeah,
okay.
just pouring it, getting as much of it in my mouth as I can. Some of it's
Punch
definitely
is
not.
covering you.
Yeah,
Just deluge.
I'm gonna be
but
so
I'm
sticky.
getting a good bit of it.
But there's a path opening before us.
Are you trying to get the attention of these drunk aristocrats? Aristocrats.
Nope, they're all tabaxis. Sorry, you
They're all
said it.
tabaxis, you're right. The aristocratic class of this
Canon
world are
now.
tabaxis.
We have a giant about to bump into them. They can either figure out how to get out of the way or get covered with this wonderfully spiked punch.
I will grant you this. As Mordau is double fisting punch bowls above his head.
Not doing that.
Not doing that. That's a different kind of party, Eric.
Someone lied to me. I had so much
Someone-
fun, though.
Definitely lied to you.
I had so much fun, though.
As Mordau is double fisting punch bowls, as it is covering him with punch, his movements of tipping the punch bowls up creates a splash effect, and there are aristocrats behind you that are getting caught in the splash zone. As spiked punch splashes them and begins to stain their clothes, you can hear these 2 aristocrats yowl as if a cat touching water and jump back to avoid the insult of having this bright red liquid stain their clothes anymore. And as this happens, a pathway does open up as more and more aristocrats realize what kind of hell is being unleashed, and they are trying to save themselves.
Sorry, you're in the party zone.
Party zone.
As the first couple begin to, make freakish sounds and terrified of the idea of getting wet. Easy, Tiger. As I get to insult them on a special level.
So now we're racist. Just joking.
No, I don't have a problem with tabaxi. Just the fact that the certain tabaxi would have delineated from tigers that don't mind water and in fact do like water, and that these ones simply don't like water
Because they're rich.
Because they're rich, and they are domestic house cats who have never gone outside of their own free will in their entire lives.
So I get to hit them with a very snarky jab. And as people willingly move out of our way, I will be able to move around, and I will quietly cast Locate Object.
Okay. And what object are you trying to locate?
I am looking for a book within these set dimensions and I'm imagining the glow of the book.
Okay. You do not feel it in this room.
Oh no, it goes to 1,000 feet.
You do not feel it within the 1,000 feet that the spell allows.
Okay. Hey, good news and bad news. Uh, Either I'm wrong about the design of the book based off of the other books we looked at, uh, or it's not here, or it is concealed. So that's the potential good news. Uh, Other than that, um, we are ever so slightly fucked. Um, we are still uh, damp, um, but we are not sober.
And that's something.
Now, wait. What?
What do you mean, what?
I thought you said something.
I said we could try going through the servants' room. Get up to
Okay.
try to talk to the butler. Alright, we're gonna do them a kindness of bringing these bowls since they're so heavy and not so heavy for me. We're just gonna walk into the servants' quarters.
Okay, you do that.
Okay.
There's the one on the left side of the room that the person who's standing behind the king came through, and there's one on the right side of the room.
Standing behind the king, we can get to that one?
It is not behind, it's kind of off center. If this was the king's dais, the
Okay.
butler guy went from like over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then walked behind.
Okay. Yeah, let's try going through that.
Okay. You approach the door. Do you try to like stealthily go in, or do you just go in?
No, I bump it with my arm with holding these two empty bowls.
It's unlocked, and you just go on in. It is a darkened passageway with one candle affixed to the wall at 5-foot intervals to light the way a little bit. And it curves around into the back of the castle, almost like kind of like going behind the king's throne.
Okay.
It is wide enough for 2 average-sized human servants to walk side by side, each carrying a platter of food and drinks.
Okay. Quill, you coming
You
with me?
first. You first.
Alright.
You. This is not a side by side for us.
Alright, yeah, I'm walking with these two bowls. Still, just walking around.
As you guys continue on, you find several different servants passing you. Some of them are giving you strange looks. Some of them are going to speak up and then see the size of Mordau and think better of it. And as you continue on, you pass by different darkened doorways and different like hallways, passageways that are in this hallway of itself. And you eventually find a door with light coming under it that leads to the kitchen, and you know this because of the different smells and sounds that are emanating from it.
But there's no. So there's just one doorway. This doorway going into the kitchen.
this is the end of the hallway, but
Mhm.
along this stretch of hallway, there were different kind of like branching out hallways and closed doors without light coming from beneath them that will lead to different parts of the castle.
Okay. Um. I'm thinking we're trying to get to that head butler. Ask him
Well,
some question. He's not going to be in the kitchen.
no, Love was getting a head start on that one. The point is that I had brazenly insulted a number of aristocrats, and uh, was anticipating reprisal. I then used you to distract and upset all of them to keep from them targeting me immediately. Uh, then got us here where we could now try to wash up a bit.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Um, and then,
We
of
can try
course,
going in one of those hallways or rooms that we passed that didn't have a light going.
absolutely.
Let's try those.
Let's just wash up a bit. That was sticky.
Yeah. I don't think all this red punch is gonna wash out.
Uh, I was able to make myself sparkle, but I haven't actually, mastered prestidigitation yet. As such, I do not have the ability to launder our clothes perfectly every time. But I can speak with animals.
Wait, you don't have prestidigitation?
No.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's fair.
No, I wish I had been able to get a hold of it, but
It's fine. It is what it is.
no.
Fate.
Teacher said you should speak with animals because animals are going to know things. And I'm like, free dry cleaning.
Free dry cleaning. You're up.
Is it me? Am I teacher?
No,
Okay, we
that's
can
Marie.
we can try going through one of those other doors.
So,
I'm gonna keep the stains on me. It adds to my appearance that I'm drunk, just wandering.
so for mine, I just go ahead and start washing up my hands, splash my face, run some clean water through my hair, so it looks like I'm trying to sober up.
Did you go into the kitchen to do this?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Cookie is watching you, but is still too busy happily recounting false memories of her and Love hanging out, and therefore allows you to do this without question.
at which point I'll just like walk over to her. Oh, thanks, love, and give her a kiss on the cheek, and start heading out.
Aw, you big charmer, you! And then she lets you go. Do you guys continue through the darkened hallway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any lights other than these candles? This hallways look dim.
You hear shuffling of fabric down the hallway and to the right. And you hear the tapping of heels on hard surface.
I follow the noise.
Behind Mordau.
As you follow the noise, it leads you through a twisting, turning labyrinth of hallways that you follow just barely in the dark. It goes up 2 flights of stairs, and it ends with the opening and the closing of a wooden door with creaking hinges. There is soft ambient light coming from the borders of this opening.
Should we get the others before we go into this? Quill?
You know, I wanted to learn message. And of course he said, no, learn
Verb,
mainframe.
animals, yes. Okay, alright, fine. We'll, if anything, we'll go find them in a second. Alright, I open the wooden door.
You open it onto a lavishly adorned hallway. There are deep purple carpets lined over the hardwood floors. There are gold embellishments in that carpet of a fleur-de-lis pattern. You can see pictures and portraits on the wall, and from above on the ceiling hang golden chandeliers of candles. You smell the softly burning smells of sage and lavender. And as you look down the hall, you can see that there is one door in particular that is painted white wood with gold embellishments leafed onto it, with 2 golden door handles and a golden door knocker in the shape of a donkey's head.
Your book sensing powers giving you anything, Quill?
They are not.
No,
Okay.
I am slightly concerned about the donkey's head versus the donkey's ass.
Well, it is a monarchy. So.
No, right, yeah, on the floor in front of the king.
Right.
When Love and Quindar were moving about, they pointed at it. I clocked that. I thought it was weird too.
Do the portraits look like the descriptions that were given about the queen?
Nope. There are no portraits of the queen that you have seen throughout the castle. The paintings that are on the walls are mostly landscapes. There are some of like a child with a dog. Roll investigation for me.
That all I can do.
That dog
cannot.
looks weird. That dog certainly looks not like a dog.
I'm going to spend 10 minutes to ritually cast Speak with Animals on that dog.
I take the
Absolutely.
painting off of the wall and I put it face down on the ground. That dog is not real.
That dog is not real. That motherfucker is not real. On that space on the wall, you can see an outline of a rectangular faded shape. Like when the sun beats on something and it fades.
Another painting.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
that there was an outline of a rectangular painting in that space that was being covered up by the picture of the weird dog.
So that must have been a portrait of the queen. Alright,
Mayhaps.
let's go into this donkey room.
Yeah.
You approach the donkey room. Do you knock on the door? Or do you just try to walk in?
I mean, it's a knocker. Gotta use the knocker.
It's only polite.
It's only polite.
You.
I'm talking to the donkey's head.
What are you saying to the donkey's head? And are you ritually casting Speak with Animals?
I was already doing that.
To the picture of the dog.
Yeah. So by the time I get over to the donkey's head on the knocker, hey, it's me. Let me in.
I forgot somehow that you were drunk during this.
Oh, no. I've been getting worse progressively.
I have an 18 constitution, and I'm a big guy, so like, I've just been day drinking this whole time. I'm fine. I've maybe gotten a little buzz, but
Mordau has pre-gamed this book.
yes.
As you approach the donkey, and Quill, you start trying to talk to it, you can hear a shuffling behind the door. And you can hear a soft gasp of fear. And unfortunately, it is there that we're going to call session.
Why? How busy are your legs? Your head is very still.
Cool, you're embarrassing me in front of the donkey.
That's the tagline for today's episode. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for session 2 of Between the Prose. It has been a wonderful adventure with you guys so far. My name is Finn. I am your dungeon deity for this adventure. And our lovely players, why don't you introduce yourselves again? Starting with Eric.
Hey, I'm Eric. I'm playing Quill, a quite possibly alcoholic and other bad habits. Bard College of Lore. He is absolutely not your stereotypical horny bard. In fact, he is the very much fuck off. I should be a wizard, but instead I'm accidentally a bard.
Yeah.
And yet, for everything else, he has so many potentially good things, and then he gets in his own way.
It happens. Where else can we find you, Eric?
Well, most of the time you can find me here every other Monday here in the Vibe Tribe Productions, where I run Gaia Chronicles, a anime and JRPG inspired game with very many members of this cast. And on another night, I run a Witcher game. We're still working out the details on whether or not I can tell you where. But message me on my social media at Dungeon Master Eric, and I can tell you there. So yeah, Quill's a jerk. He full on told Mordau that he was using him. But he didn't do anything to hurt him. And it worked. We got here.
It was just him doing exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Dan!
Well, Dan playing Mordau of Clan Viento, Breaker of Wheels, Drinker of Drinks, and
Slayer of Punch Bowls.
Slayer of Punch Bowls. He's gonna just keep on accruing names onto his list. It's one of his goals as a Goliath. But yeah, you can find me here, and you can find me on Dungeon Eric's Gaia Chronicles as well, where I play a Norm Allman. Great guy.
Great guy.
But yes. Alright, Maximus.
Hi, I'm Maximus, playing the not so stealthy not so stuffy drow. And you can find me on TikTok and Insta on the same tag and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Sorry, I was still muted. Hi, I'm Connor. I'm playing Love, the Tiefling Ranger. She's a Fey Wanderer Ranger. You can find me here on Vibe Tribe. I was a part of some of our Season 2 games. You can go back and watch A Walk Among Gods, or Neon Memories, or Duskvale. And now in Season 3, I am also in El Juego, which is one Sunday a month. Dungeon, or with Adolfo, the nerdy Puerto Rican, running it. And I'm also in Dungeon Master Eric's Gaia Chronicles, where I play Cypress, the apothecary, the Faerun apothecary. Yeah, look up more Vibe Tribe stuff, watch all of our stuff, and thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening, and we hope that you check out more Vibe Tribe stuff, and we will see you in 2 weeks on another Sunday for the next chapter of Between the Prose. Thank you. Don't forget to drink your water, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.